If you want to see amazing and exciting duels, informative and entertaining top 10 lists, and everything else that's just great about the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, you gotta watch the Capital G Show. Shout out to my homeboy Dante. Ayy. What's up YouTube, Capital G here, looking at some new cards from Dimension of Chaos, and it looks like we're getting a brand new archetype that's going to be based around water and synchro summoning, which is cool. They're called the Gureidoru, and if I mispronounce that, just excuse that, but they've got 3 cards that have been revealed so far, and this one was actually revealed like last week, but I didn't talk about it, the big synchro, because honestly, I saw that it needed an aqua type tuner to summon, and I was like, done. I mean, I literally just mentally checked out, and I was like, I'm not even talking about this shit, because to this day I believe that there have only been 5 aqua tuners that have been printed in this game. So I was like, fuck that. I don't have time for that shit, you know what I mean, to be playing like 6 and 7-year-old cards to summon, you know, a brand new card. So the fact that they're going to be their own archetype means that they're going to get their tuners so that they can obviously make their boss monsters. And it's really good that Konami hasn't completely forgotten about water, because if you look at the last 3 years, I mean, they've only really had 2 major archetypes. I would definitely say that Necros fits in that category, and then Mermail will be the other one coming out of Abyss Rising. But there was a pretty large gap between those 2, so I'm hoping that this will be like the next big competitive archetype for the water attribute. So let's start with the tuner. This is Gureidoru Slime. It's a level 5 aqua type tuner, 0 attack, 2000 defense. When I first saw that, I was like, I don't know about a level 5 tuner and 0 attack. I was like, well, if I can special summon it, maybe I can run Mother Grizzly or something like that. But, you know, I guess it's going to be dependent on what the stats are, because the effect doesn't seem like it's, or the stats aren't going to be that great. So the effect is pretty much going to have to carry this card. Now, oddly enough, YGO organization has, like, I guess translated these TCG and OCG style. With the TCG, I guess it includes like the problem solving text, or what they believe will be the problem solving text. The effect reads, if this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target 2 Gureidoru cards you control, destroy them, and if you do, destroy at least 1. Special summon this card. You can only use this effect of Gureidoru Slime once per turn. Okay, that's fine. When this card is special summoned this way, target 1 Gureidoru monster in the graveyard, or excuse me, in your graveyard, special summon that monster in defense mode. This card seems really good. The stats obviously are not impressive, but the effect seems ridiculously good. To be honest, it kind of reminds me of Light and Darkness Dragon, the fact that you can use the special summon ability from hand or graveyard, and assuming that you blow up one of your monsters to summon this guy, it's not even that big of a deal, because you're just going to probably summon it right back in defense mode anyway. So it's really nice. It's not even like you're taking a huge neg. Also, I realized that it can destroy Gureidoru cards, which means you might not necessarily have to use monsters. As long as this archetype gets some type of spells and traps, you'll probably be able to use those as well. And lastly, it doesn't have to destroy both cards. So if for some reason you were going to destroy 2 monsters and your opponent is like compulsive active ice, so that your guy would go to the hand and you wouldn't be able to destroy it, you still would be able to get the effect. So this is going to be the next card. This is Dp-Ygo, and you see that it is level 3. You know, level 3 plus level 5 obviously equals the level 8 synchro. So this is Dp-Ygo. It's 1500 attack, 500 defense. It's a level 3 water aqua monster, which means you can actually bring both of these guys out by Mother Grizzly. So Mother Grizzly might actually be half decent in this deck. TCG effect. If this card is destroyed by battle or monster effect and sent to the graveyard while it was a monster card under your control, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, equip this card to that monster your opponent controls. While this card is equipped to a monster by that effect, take control of that monster. When this card leaves the field, destroy the equipped monster. This effect seems just really good. Essentially, it's like a built-in snatch steal. Anytime that if this guy gets blown up or anything like that, his effect kicks in and you just equipped it to one of your opponent's monsters, and then you're just like, all right, well, give me that monster. I mean, it only equips the face-up monsters, but like, I mean, that's the most relevant thing here. I think this guy is really good, and you know what's really cool is the fact that this card, the slime, can actually trigger the Eagle's effect. Let me read this one more time just to make sure that I don't tell you guys anything that is wrong. Yep, by under your control, target one monster. Okay, that's really, really good. So it's just a real good way of punishing your opponent for destroying it in battle. It's a good way for your for it to kind of mitigate like monster destruction. Like if you summon it into I don't know, or if it attacks into like a mirror force or something like that, it doesn't really matter. You get to snatch still one of your opponent's monsters. I mean, they have to kind of be cautious when they Regeki this, because if they have any monsters on board, you're just going to take those. And then what's really good is if this card leaves the field, you get to destroy the equipped monster. So even if they have like a random MST or something, like they can't even MST it, because then they're just blowing their own monster up. So this card seems really, really good. And again, I'm going to assume that even if your opponent won't kill this guy willingly, that all you have to do is just use slime to blow it up and then just trigger its effect. You can summon, you can summon another Gureidoru monster from your graveyard back, and then you can just snatch steal their monster. So the combos are obviously there. And then finally, the Gureidoru Dragon. This appears to be the boss monster of the deck. 3,000 attack, 2,000 defense. For a level 8, I can definitely get down with that. That's pretty good stats. The effect reads, you can only use each effect of Gureidoru Dragon once per turn. When this card is synchro summoned, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of water monsters used for the synchro summon of this card. Destroy them. Effect number 2, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target one monster in your graveyard except this card, special summon it, but the effects are negated. This card also seems really good. I'm gonna assume right now these are the only Gureidoru monsters we know of. So if you summon the Gureidoru Dragon with the slime and the eagle, I mean, you're just gonna get the nuke two of your opponent's cards like the second that this guy hits the field. And then even when he dies, he's just gonna pay for himself anyway. It's gonna be pretty damn hard to get over it in battle because it is 3,000. But if they dark hole you, or if they Regeki you or something like that, it basically has the scrap dragon effect where it gets another monster and it replaces it. I mean, the effects are negated, but it's really not that big of a deal. So far this archetype seems to be based around destruction. I like the fact that the synchro has 2 really good effects. This guy can summon himself from the graveyard. This dude has a snatch steal built in. And another thing that you might have to realize is these are both salvage targets. So salvage may have to be a card that's definitely looked at in regards to this deck. Same thing with Moray of Greed. I'm hoping that it's going to be a full-fledged archetype and not like 5 or 6 cards, because they look kind of interesting. And this one kind of looks like an alien for some reason. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching as always.